Seminary had always been kind of an interest of mine. I had grown up as a pastor's kid in the evangelical tradition, and when I became Orthodox, I kind of put it off to the side and thought, this isn't something I'm going to pursue. This is something that if it is going to happen, it will happen contrary to anything I actually put on the board.
This was a decision and a journey that was years in the making. A lot of years of praying about it, of thinking about it, of wondering what it meant to go to seminary, what the purpose was, what the result would be. So many people said that it was a calling, so trying to define and discern that calling took us a lot of time, a lot of prayer, a lot of conversations with each other and with other people who we trusted.
We were 9 years into being Orthodox, and my wife and I we would constantly have these kind of dinner, late night conversations where we're like, should we reassess this, or are we using the right methodology to kind of, and we were always being prayerful about it, but also kind of, what does the sign look like of if this happens?
For me personally, and a really important moment in that process was listening to an abbot speak about becoming a monastic. And he said that for him, there was never this really big moment that led him to believe that he was supposed to become a monk, but that he nudged at the door and he found that it gave a little bit. And he nudged a little more and it opened a little more. And he sought to be faithful in that process of nudging and stepping forward a little bit. And I talked with Garrett about it and said, well, maybe it's time that we actually nudge at the door, maybe.
So my wife and I basically spent a lot of time kind of talking about it, and through the encouragement of our Father Confessor, thought maybe we'll take one step and just kind of see what happens next. And so part of that next step was kind of visiting seminaries. When I came to St. Tikhon's, I was moved by the union of human weakness and divine strength, and recognizing that you had these professors that were human and were real about that, and at the same time, God's work, God's grace was showing through them. And so I thought, these are people I want to study under. These are the people that I can learn how to live the Orthodox life more fully from. Things just happened after that. You know, a parishioner came and said, we really want to support you, and other people said, if you do this, we really want to support you. And so the kind of ball started moving, and so we returned and talked to our parish priest about it, and started kind of making plans of how do you move your family across country? What does this look like?
Our family's done really well here. We come from a suburban California town where we didn't have a lot of room, and we had our church and our church community, but it's been remarkable to come to a place that is so saturated with Orthodoxy, that has so much history. The American Orthodox Church is growing, but to see something that is older has been really helpful for them and for us. They're really happy. They love Pennsylvania. They love where we live. They love their friends. The spiritual community is rich. I think it's been a very centering and grounding time for our family.
Yeah, community life was kind of a deal maker or breaker for my family. We were in a really great community back home. Everyone was plugged into relationships. I think relationships mattered to us. And for all of us, we all made really good connections. I think being here for similar reasons, you find those commonalities with those families. And then as you go through the kind of gauntlet of seminary, you are solidified in these relationships. And so it makes for these great kind of social events and spending time together and commonality. It was definitely a leap of faith in so many different ways.
But I think we just had to take an actual step in a single direction. And so we.
Being ready is not up to you. Like, you will never feel ready, but you can be faithful, and taking the next step is part of that faithfulness.